Welcome back to the Brave Podcast. My name is Angelo, aka Exploring with Angelo here on YouTube. Most of the time you find me out there hunting ghosts, going to strange places, traveling all around the world, and just doing crazy things. Here we have interesting conversations. We have a fabulous guest that I'm really excited to talk to tonight. But before we get to him, first of all, Happy New Year. Happy 2024.
That's right.
Hope everybody had a really good time over the holidays, New Year, that sort of thing. And before we get on to the conversation, let me introduce my co-host, Moshi.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. 2024 is very exciting. I didn't even realize it was a new year now.
Right.
I'm really excited to talk to our guest today. I've just recently been watching some of his videos, and I'm excited to learn a lot from this gentleman. Right before I introduce him, I want to remind you that we are on, obviously, YouTube. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Rumble. Check us out there at The Brave Podcast. And now, to introduce the one, the only, Chris, Mr. Must List. Chris Must List on YouTube.
Well, I appreciate it. Honored to be here. Excited to talk to another traveler. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I can learn something from you folks about hunting ghosts, so I can add that to my resume on my next trip.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, before we got into the filming this whole thing, first of all, I was like trying to fix a microphone because for some reason your microphone was like super loose and rattling, so I'm like swapping the mics. Things were just getting all messed up. I'm like, crap, everybody's gonna be here in like 10 minutes. But everything's good. Glad maybe I could share some insight on doing some ghost hunting. What intrigues you about that? What makes you want to kind of do that?
I think it's the not knowing.
Yeah
That's the reason I travel, right? Is to explore and to find out. I'm not good at reading books.
Okay.
You can tell me stories about ghosts and hauntings. I want to experience it for myself.
Oh, for sure.
It's a selfishness in me. If I didn't feel it, it didn't happen, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe one day I'll take you to a place and we'll do some ghost hunting together. I'll show you some equipment.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Kind of how to interact. I find like it's interesting because you said that you're kind of skeptical, but you're a skeptic in the way that you want to actually see something.
100%.
Right? And you've never actually witnessed anything before?
Right.
Never?
But skeptical, I think, is a bad word because I'm not the type of person that says, if you tell me the story, no, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical in the manner that I want to see, I want to experience myself. But I'm very open to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was kind of like, before I started this, I was kind of, I guess, in the same almost kind of frame of mind. Like I was very intrigued by it, very interested, and sort of the same thing where it's like a lot of these other people were going out and actually physically going for the purpose of ghost hunting instead of just being at home and all of a sudden a door slams, right? But
yes.
I saw these other people doing it and I'm like, oh, that looks like fun. Like that actually looks pretty cool. And then now I kind of, I guess in a way, do it for a living, right? So yeah, that's fun. But apart from wanting to ghost hunt, tell us more about your traveling. Where have you been like most recently?
Yeah, well, like overall, my goal is to see every country in the world. I'm 45 years old now. I started traveling when I was 18 years old.
Right.
Simple trips, Mexico, Jamaica, Bermuda. And once you've done that 10 or 15 times, for me, I'm like, I got to start exploring further away. And now I'm at the point where like my Google search, if you went through the history of my Google search and you worked for like any kind of, what do I say, like government, because what I search for is like the most dangerous places to go. Like where should I not go? Yeah. Here are the top 10 places not to go. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Let me go through them one at a time. Again, my list is 197 deep is the goal. I'm about 75 countries away from completing that list. And recently, Afghanistan, Somalia, I came from South Sudan last week. Iraq this year, Syria this year. I normally average 17 to 20 countries a year.
That's crazy.
So that's a short list of some of the more unique countries I went to this year.
So in terms of, that's so intriguing to me. Like what you do is intriguing to me and what I do is intriguing to you. It's
that's how that's supposed to work.
Right. Yeah. It's such a great combination. But I've always kind of been, I guess people call it extreme travel because you're going to, some notoriously dangerous place. Some areas obviously are. I mean, here if you go to Jane and Finch, it's dangerous, right? I mean, some people would say, yeah. So I find that so intriguing, and it's funny because on the show I brought it up with my friend Brent, Abandoned Urbex Canada, and like, yeah, that's kind of like the next thing I would like to do. Like, you know, I've done a lot of these abandoned places, haunted places, and whatever. But the next thing I really kind of want to do and just figure out like what's the best way to go about it is going to these like crazy places, right? Like I'd love to go to South Sudan or North Korea, places like that would be like really, really complex. And that's why I have so many freaking questions ready for you. But,
and let me tell you, North Korea is so high on my list. I've been so patient. It's the only country in the world still closed for COVID.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
So, I can't wait for that day. I'll be the first one on the first plane.
Yeah, let me know when you go. Maybe I'll meet you there. But what stopped you before from? I guess so when you started really doing YouTube. When did you start doing?
I think I'm about 2.5 years in. I've had YouTube channels in the past.
Right.
Nothing pertaining to travel.
Okay.
But I mean, I've probably had a channel since YouTube started for different type of stuff. But now it's a lot more serious for me. It's not like randomly throw up a video every 6 months. It's like, this is all like I told you earlier, it's all I think about.
Yeah. It's much more coordinated now, right? Yeah.
An obsession.
Yeah.
But about 2.5 years now.
That's good. Yeah, I kind of used to be like the same way before, like in the early days. Like if I go back, like my first video on my what is now my vlog channel or second channel, because I have like 3 channels. So on my vlog channel, the very first vlog is, what is it? First vlog making tomato sauce and fixing my car. And it's literally just like the thumbnail is like the front bumper of my car because nobody knew what the hell they were doing when they first started.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So I don't know. And then just kind of looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Right. I remember my first ghost hunt video. And then now that it's kind of like become the thing that I do, it's like you said, it's becomes an absolute obsession.
Yeah.
You're just constantly thinking, where's the next place? What's next? So what is next? Where are you going next?
Well, I decided today that I'm going to go to, the game plan was to go to Guyana on Monday. My son's birthday is on Monday, so I was going to go on Tuesday. But I couldn't find a good flight. But I looked and I said, hey, I can go to Barbados first. And from Barbados, I can go to Trinidad. And Trinidad, I can go to Guyana. So,
Nice.
And then Suriname. So basically, I've finished Central and South America after this trip. So it's just like... I like to rotate. Like I'll go to Asia, then I'll go to Africa, then I'll do the Americas, and then I'm working on Antarctica now. I don't plan at all. Like this plan, me buying a ticket today for a flight on Tuesday is the most I planned. Just came to me in my sleep, and my wife is as crazy as I am to just say, yeah, go. Follow your dream. Right?
That's awesome. That's amazing to have someone supportive like that.
Amazing. It wouldn't happen without the support.
That's incredible. What's the was there anything specifically appealing to you about Guyana specifically? I'm half Guyanese. My dad's Guyanese, so that interests me that you could be going there.
That I haven't been there. I do no research, so zero research. I don't Google anything. I don't find out if it's dangerous. Somebody actually messaged me already saying, this is bad timing for Trinidad. There's extreme watches. I'm like, I don't pay attention to any of that. I don't know what the weather's like. I mean, anywhere, when I went to Iraq, I didn't know it snowed there. I don't Google temperature. I just go.
Got it.
Knowing I can go to a store there and buy a jacket. I don't plan anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, growing up, I had some good friends that were from Guyana. I love the accent and the curse words and the food. But I don't know anything more about it. And I don't want to know. I want to go with an open mind.
That's cool.
You know, unfortunately, when I think Guyana, what I think about is Jim Jones in the negative. Yeah. So that is the one thing I have pre-planned to do when I was there. Because I Googled it quickly, and I'm like, nobody has recently gone at all.
Dude.
I can't wait to see that.
So that is something that I'm actually excited about. I might sound crazy, but I'm serial killing stuff. I don't want to curse. It's something I'm very into.
It's okay. We're past the first 9 minutes. You can curse.
Okay, now I can curse. That's the kind of shit I'm into. No, so I mean, I've watched the story many times in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So I don't have any fascination with death.
Yeah.
But I'm very intrigued by what goes through the mind of somebody like that, some cult leader that's willing to kill.
Right.
So going there, I've been to Auschwitz. I've been to internment camps in Poland and Germany. I've been to Cambodia, the killing fields. Again, not because I'm intrigued by death, but it's like it's a part of history, and something from me inside of me being there and touching the place. I don't know what it is. It has to do with the learning and touching and being there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of like the same way. Like for me, I don't like, I even tell people like through the videos, I'm like, you really have to be here to absolutely understand it, because it's more than just seeing it, it's feeling it.
Yeah.
Right. Like it just, there's something about it. Like you mentioned Auschwitz. I went there back in 2012. I went to go watch a few soccer games, Italy versus Ireland, Italy versus Croatia or whatever. And then me and my friend drove from Poznan, Poland, down to Krakow. And then we decided to go to Auschwitz. And it was really weird because like for some reason all the locals would just like pretend like they didn't know where it was. And we were just totally lost. We're like downtown Krakow and I'm just like, I don't think it's anywhere around here, right?
Yeah.
And then we ended up going there and it was just, it's such a surreal place. Like the feeling that you get. So I totally get that. But yeah, what else did you do in like Poland? You've done Germany and stuff like that, right?
All of that was prior to my YouTube.
Right.
So that was just me walking around and exploring.
All right.
A lot of these countries I had to return to 2, 3, 4 times to even scratch the surface.
Do you want to get it all documented? Every country documented on the YouTube channel?
There's some countries that really they don't just have. There's countries I go to today that I don't even turn my camera on. That I either just selfishly want to enjoy it myself.
Right.
Got it.
This is work. YouTube is work.
Yep.
I don't sleep. When I film a video, it's edited that night myself. Thumbnails are created that night, and it's uploaded within 24 hours.
Got it.
So if I go away for 30 days, you're going to get 30 videos, and I'm going to come home exhausted from lack of sleep. So there are places I want to go that I just want to enjoy myself. And when I'm with family, I don't record anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people often ask me, I have a wife and 3 children, like, Chris, why don't you bring your kids and your family? Well, I do. You just don't see that.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a big difference between what you see on YouTube and in the reality, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you wanted to do that, you just start a vlog channel, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of family stuff.
A family channel, but it's just not the content.
Yeah, no, I don't think it fits the structure really, right?
And and what kind of man would I be to bring myself in danger? And the reason I travel solo, I don't feel in danger. Statistically, I'm pretty doing dangerous stuff, but if I brought somebody with me and something were to happen, I would be the one responsible for them. So yeah, I like to travel alone. I like to be responsible for myself.
Yeah. Where in what parts of Canada have you done that you found very, very intriguing?
Not with the eye of a YouTuber. Like I've been everywhere. Yeah. Newfoundland's the only province that I haven't visited.
Okay.
But I think when you have a camera and you do it, it's different.
Right.
So there's really not. I have to do all of Canada again.
Yeah. Recently I just thought about it. I'm just like, I'm just going to start going to some random remote places around the country because we have a lot of them, right? A lot of people don't realize like Canada, once you pass, like you drive 20 hours north of Ontario, there's nothing, right? It's forests and then none of it basically, right? Which you can't even drive there.
You and I are very similar because if you look at my Google search, like 3 days ago, I said, how far north can I drive? Because you cannot drive to Nunavut. Yeah. But if you drive
Pickle Island or
that's exactly
Pickle,
what
whatever it was called, right?
It's probably still open on my thing. So I was thinking I'm going to go there this week and just start driving in the winter.
I was literally, it's funny because we probably would have met each other there because I was literally thinking the same thing until a couple of appointments came up.
That is nuts because I'd never heard of Pickle Island before, but that is exactly what I searched.
It seems so intriguing because it's just like, what's up there, right? Like you literally get to this random place called Pickle Island or whatever, if it's even an island, I don't even know.
No.
But
they said there's all year access. That's what excited me. But
that's what
amazing
I thought too.
I'm meeting another human being that was thinking very similar to I.
Yeah. It's funny because I was just like, I'm going to go and do it. And I probably still will sometime soon, but I'm just like, I need some snow tires. I didn't have snow tires. 2 of my tires were almost borderline bald on my car. I just got snow tires today. So I'm like, I'm good to go. Let's do it. But yeah, so have you done like the territories?
No.
None of it? Nothing yet?
But none of it's high on my list.
Yeah. I recently saw a movie. I think it was called The Grizzlies. I think I mentioned it on the show at some point. I think it was like on Amazon or I don't remember if it was Netflix or Amazon. And it's about the indigenous people that live up in Nunavut. And there was some teacher, white guy from here somewhere who moved out there for a job. And in order to engage the kids, he basically taught them how to play lacrosse and then started like this whole team. Wow. And it was a true story based in this area called Lugtuk. And there ain't a whole lot out there, but I'm like, damn, like that would be really cool to go and document stuff like that. Yeah. Right.
Isn't this crazy? Look at this. Thursday, December 28th. Look at
so
what my
funny.
exact searches were.
That's funny.
The camera can't see it. It's a Pickle Lake Polar Bear, Pickle Lake Polar Bear, Pickle Lake, Ontario. And that's what I was searching.
That's it, Pickle Lake. I was thinking
That's
Pickle
amazing.
Island, but it's Pickle Lake.
Pickle Lake, yeah.
Wow.
And I've never searched that in my life.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there and I'm like, I got to go North Ontario.
Right.
Amazing.
I mean, you could probably go more north of there, but at that point, it's just all like treacherous.
I think that's the most
roads.
northern part of Ontario.
Yeah.
You can get closer to none of it if you cross over to the next province.
Right.
But it said that was the topic. How far can I drive north?
Yeah.
And that was the answer.
Yeah. For me, I think the farthest I've gone was Wawa, Ontario. There was like this random ghost town. It was like an old mining ghost town, and it was called Mickapicketon Harbor. And that was really, really cool. It was like right on Lake Superior. And basically what had happened was during the hurricane, all the water from Lake Superior went in and then basically destroyed all these houses and pulled everything into the water. So there's like cars and stuff that's all underneath the actual lake.
Wow.
So yeah.
See, that's what excites me about what you do. You know, what I do, it's almost like a movie.
Yeah.
And I don't want to compare it, but I mean, my best videos are when I meet the best characters, and it's something you can sort of unplan. What I like about what you do is you can just go to a place by yourself,
Right.
and create content.
Yeah.
Me, a lot of it replies like, I need to find somebody interesting,
Yeah.
exciting, that has a story. Hey, I've been shot 16 times. I'm like, this is the kind of story I need. But if I
Yeah.
don't find somebody like that, it's actually quite difficult to create good content.
Yeah. 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 I find the same thing too. Cause like a lot of times when I go to the States or wherever, I'll take like that one day where it's just like, I'll focus on just walking around a random town and just like sightseeing and seeing what's around, you know, the food, stuff like that. And that's most of that content ends up on my vlog channel. But yeah, like I go to Savannah, Georgia. I don't know if you've ever been there, but that's like one of my favorite places to go. Speaking of serial killers, I don't know if there's a museum there that has like the Oddities Museum. Have you ever been there?
No.
They have a whole bunch of stuff that all used to belong to serial killers.
Okay.
They actually have Jim Jones, a pair of his glasses, stuff like that. What was his name? Charles Manson. They have stuff from him. They have a bunch of paintings from John Wayne Gacy that he hand painted when he was in jail.
Yeah.
So next time you're there, if you ever end up back in
for
Savannah,
sure.
definitely go check it out. But so far, what was your favorite place to go? What was your favorite country?
Favorite country is Namibia.
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 I can't even say that.
Yeah, I couldn't say it either. It took me some practice. When I got off the plane, I could not say it. And the best part of, and the reason it being my favorite country, when I got off the plane, I was in the desert. One of the smallest airplanes I ever got off. Airport, like no immigration, nothing. And I open the doors, there's no taxis.
Yeah.
All I see is desert in every direction. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, I had planned to be here a week. What the hell am I going to do for a week? I had to wait like 2-3 hours for somebody to come pick me up at this airport. And the whole time I was sitting with thinking like, what am I doing in this country? But over dinner, when I met some people, they said I should really go north to the border of like Angola. It's, like a 4 or 5 day drive.
Wow.
So I'm like, yeah, I found the one rental car company that had one rental car. And I got it, and I'm like, let me do the drive. But since I'm driving, instead of going directly to the Himba tribe, I'm going to do a loop and do the whole country. So it took me 9 days solo, and it's the most, I don't know what the wording is, it's the most maybe unpopulated. It's one of the most unpopulated places in the world, but the streets themselves, I can drive through the desert one day without seeing a vehicle.
That's crazy.
There's going to be a gas station every 8 hours, but no vehicles on the road.
Yeah.
But the wildlife, I've been all over Africa, and it's very seldom do you see real wildlife, elephant walking down the street.
Right.
And to stop on the street here and just, you're by yourself for the day, and you can hang out with the giraffes and without a ranger coming and saying like, keep the car moving. This is what real wildlife, right? So
I guess it's because there's like really no one around.
There's nobody around.
They just don't really care.
It's empty.
Right?
No, but there's no, because like in Kenya, you're in a national park.
Right.
A certain time comes, you got to leave.
Yeah.
This is real wildlife. This is real animals by the side of the road.
Yeah.
Nobody's job is to keep you moving.
That sounds really, really interesting. What was your, these were all, you should be asking these because these were your questions that you wanted to know.
I wrote down a lot of questions. Tell me about, so I noticed that you have quite a lot of videos about Namibia, and I was going through like your play. I wanted to just see, I would quickly read off the countries that I saw that you visited, but there's so many that it would be. your favorite country is Namibia. What about country you liked maybe the least, if you have something like that?
For me, Kuwait.
Okay.
Just not for me.
Any reason why?
Boring, like just real boring. Everybody's so perfect there that it's like
fake?
everybody's not fake. Everyone dressed the same. Everyone looks the same. The rules are very male, gender oriented.
Right.
I can't walk up to a woman and just start talking. So nothing against their way of life. It's just for me, in creating content, the only content I could create, like how the beaches have nobody there.
Yeah.
Like that's the hottest place I've ever been, and the beach is empty. Their enjoyment or the things they enjoy are things that I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
Drinking tea on the side of the road is not exciting for me.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a very me thing.
Yeah.
For me, it was a country I would never return to.
Yeah.
But if I did, and I was in the region, who knows? I could experience something so totally different if I met the right person. Just for the time I was there was just really boring.
Yeah.
Do you have?
And I think that's the only country I've been to where I like didn't do anything.
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 days, I'm like, I got to get out of here. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
When you travel there, are you not buying a return ticket right away?
No,
no. So
I've never bought a return ticket in my life.
Got it.
If immigration's listening around the world, even the ones that require it, I'm good at Photoshop. I just fake it. 'Cause I never know when I'm going to leave.
Right. Yeah. That's cool.
I do that too sometimes, not gonna lie. I may or may not have done that to Vegas, U.S. immigration.
Yeah.
I said I was coming home the 5th. I came home the 6th.
No, some countries are very, like, they will not let you in the country without showing them a return ticket.
Yeah.
So for those countries, I do a little pre-research, and if that's the country, I just fake it.
Do you ever get trouble from entering countries, borders, anything like that?
No. Not that I can recall.
That's good.
No. Just me. I have that issue apparently with U.S. immigration, but it's probably just because I go so often, and then they try and say that apparently filming is working. Apparently,
I find it the opposite. You know, the more stamps I get on my passport, the only place I had trouble was Israel because I had like Pakistan and Afghanistan and Iraq and Syria. They're like, "Why are you there?" I'm like, "Look, those stamps are there, but I got 100 other stamps that." Right, you can see I go everywhere. I'm not just going to Muslim countries, so. That's the only time I've really been stopped and questioned for the stamps that I had.
That matters to them that much.
Yeah, I don't tell people I'm a YouTuber either. I'm a world traveler.
Got it.
Nice. Right.
And my camera that I carry is like, it looks like an amateur.
I noticed
type camera.
that. It's
doesn't
such
look,
a like small, like.
And it gets me through anywhere.
It's like the little GoPro, right?
No, it's Sony. It's a Sony action camera.
Oh, okay.
Very small.
Yeah.
And on purpose, I have like tape wrapped around it. It make it look like all beaten up.
Yeah.
So when I'm in a hood somewhere and no one's looking at me like, hey, let me take that
nice
from you.
Camera. Yeah, you should see my camera that I have over there. It's definitely don't want to go to hood with that thing.
It's a big one.
Yeah, I brought a smaller one, a ZV-1, but even still, like for what the places you go, that would probably still not even be ideal. It's still like $1,000 camera, right?
Yeah.
So
I love my camera, and for many reasons, it's small, it's easy, it has one button to push.
Yeah,
there's no monitor to watch, so I'm not paying attention to the angle or the framing or the shot. I hit record and I talk. And
then just hope it all works.
It's never not worked.
That's good. That's good. So it's reliable.
Yeah.
What's the biggest culture shock you've ever experienced, or that you've experienced abroad so far?
Yeah, everything is like eye opening.
Yeah.
But I think coming from Toronto, I was born and raised in downtown Toronto. I grew up on James Street.
Okay.
I was in my elementary school. I was one of very few white kids.
Right.
So if you look at my school picture. There might have been 2 white kids in the class and every other race.
Right.
So, having friends from all over the world, I think even at a young age, like I've eaten the food, I've been to their house, I've seen some of their customs. So I don't think anything was too crazy for me. And I've been doing this so long that, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's ever been a real culture shock. I guess, if anything, like in Afghanistan, the rules where women can't do this and men can do this, or no singing is allowed. Not really a culture shock, but just an eye opener that, hey, doing certain things in certain countries can get you really in trouble.
Right.
That's the most shocking. Even like your beard. I can't, as a man, my beard doesn't grow like yours. Mine will grow here and here. But like in Afghanistan, it's illegal to shave your beard, no matter what it looks like.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. On the windows of the barbershops, there are the rules there. And you have
shaves.
people walking. I can't think of the name. There's police officers, then there's some other officer to ensure that your shirt is long enough, that your hair is...
And you, as like someone who looks like a tourist, does that affect you? Have you been spoken to?
Well, there's rules. We'll call them rules for tourists, opposed to laws.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So if you break a law in Afghanistan, you're going to jail. For me, they sort of like,
it's a little bit
come
more.
on, put on our local clothes.
Right.
But if I don't, they're not going to put me in jail.
Yeah. It's more like loosely enforced, I guess. Right?
But there are people enforcing it.
Yeah.
So there are people on the street with plain clothes that are here to say that I don't like the color of your shirt.
Right.
Change your shirt. Do this, do that. Where we would never think of, like, can you imagine? I was in South Sudan where holding a phone is illegal.
Oh, really?
Right, last week. You are not allowed to take a picture of a river, of a plant, of anything. Illegal. Jail.
Right.
For tourists or for not tourists.
Okay.
So like that's like I
guess
you want to be respectful. You're in their country.
Yeah.
But you're like, come on, beautiful country.
Yeah, of course.
Beautiful river. Beautiful
Don't you want people to see?
Right. But they're very, very suspect that everyone there is there to harm them.
Right.
Talking about South Sudan.
So
did you eat something very interesting when you were there? I see a video here eating barbecue rat in South Sudan.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, tell me. I don't know if I would have done
How'd you
that
get there?
10 years ago. But the whole time since day one, they kept telling me about this tribe that eats rats.
Okay.
So it was on my mind. So my final day there, I'm like, let's go find this tribe that eats rats. It wasn't too hard to find.
Right.
So there wasn't very little meat to it.
Yeah.
They call it a rat. I call it a mouse. It's tiny.
Small. Yeah.
It was more fun catching them.
Right.
But
You catch it yourself?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't. I was there holding the camera.
Yeah.
Had I not been holding the camera, I damn right would have caught him. I was getting excitement out of it.
Do they just catch it by hand? I haven't seen that video yet. But
well, they hit it with something. But if they can catch it by hand, they'll catch it.
Yeah.
They're out in the field. They lift stuff off the ground, and the rats scurry all around. For me, it was fun. I don't necessarily like killing animals, but for them, they eat them every day. This is how they survive.
Yeah.
So for a Westerner to look at it and be like, ew, that's disgusting. Yeah, but this is how they survive.
It's part of their culture, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like this all over the world. There's stuff that we eat here that other countries would be like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely part of, and I had planned to do it the whole time. So I'm really happy I was able to do it.
That's neat.
Yeah, sort of a unique experience. But yeah, like you said, like every culture kind of does its own weird things.
Yeah. Well, for me, my rule is this. If I'm in your country and this is something you normally eat, I'm open to eat it, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I want to experience what you experience every day. So there's no, for me, saying no. It's always going to be yes.
Yeah, it's like for me when growing up watching my grandmother eat chicken feet. And I was just like, no, that just seems revolting. I'll try it, but do I really want it? No, not really. So I was going to ask you. So when you went to Afghanistan, did you already go with a beard? Like,
no, I don't have a beard. No, I can't grow a beard.
Oh, so
I'm a baby face. I can't.
Just whatever happened, right?
Yeah, but I mean, for others that are there, that you are able to grow it, you're expected to grow it.
Okay. Interesting. You had a question that you had on there, right?
So talking about, going off of the culture shock, when you go, because I watched some of your Palestine videos, me and my wife were watching, and you went from Palestine into Israel. And I was thinking, like, have you seen any kind of what we would call like propaganda for even maybe not those two, but you're in whatever country you're in, and then do you see any kind of, I don't know if there's signage or any kind of propaganda that would be maybe against the Western world or even like the two countries that you were visiting at the time?
Not in particular. I think it's the opposite. Most of the time the propaganda is like in the West. Okay. For probably mostly Middle Eastern.
Got it.
The propaganda of like Muslims are bad people and Muslims are terrorists.
Sure.
Muslims are the most incredible human beings on planet Earth.
Thank you for saying that.
I wish everyone had the chance to spend time with a Muslim person. If you ask me a culture shock, now this brings back memories. The first time I was in Palestine was about 10 years ago. And I was with my taxi driver well before YouTube. But I still traveled in the same manner where I wanted to experience. So I told the taxi, like, bring me somewhere that you don't bring tourists. He's like, well, I want to bring you to my house. I'm like, you never brought a tourist? He's like, no tourist has ever asked this.
That's so cool.
I'm like, who's at your house? Oh, my wife and kids are there. I said, if you don't mind, I'll go. And his wife came in full attire, only eyes showing.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought the taxi aside and I said, I apologize, but like, am I supposed to talk to your wife or not? He said, no, you can talk to my wife. She's very educated. She's a school teacher.
Right.
She speaks perfect English. I said, sorry for me asking a stupid question. I just didn't want to insult or offend you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had this wonderful talk. And I forgot while I'm talking to her that she's covered in a manner that I'm not accustomed to.
Right.
But if my ignorance stopped me, I wouldn't have had that conversation with her.
Right.
Out of fear. So to me, I've always learned to ask questions. I don't want to offend you. There are certain religions and places and races, you don't do certain things.
Yeah. Right.
But there are so many opportunities to learn from people if you let down your guard. And, we sat around that day, again, 8, 9, 10 years ago. We ate, probably the first time where I ate with strangers, all with our hands, all from one big meal.
Mm-hmm.
I remember kids running around laughing. And to them, they look at me as a white man. And unfortunately, white people are associated with the propaganda that's built negative energy from 9/11 onwards. So I think it's our responsibility in the West to share the incredible culture, even cultures we don't know. I go to mosques all the time around the world, not because I'm religious or I want to learn the religion, because I respect other people's religion, and I like being in that environment. I'm not a religious person, but if there's an old church, I want to go. I want to go and listen to them pray. I enjoy mosques all over the world, and synagogues are no different. I've been very, very pro-Palestine during what's happened. And that does not mean I'm anti-Israel. I have many great friends in Israel. I know Palestine has not been treated properly by the world for almost 100 years. Palestine deserves freedom, just no different than anybody else anywhere else on the planet.
Right.
I'm very, 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 I'm against genocide by any, like, it's such a weird thing. Even this YouTube, I have a voice, right? I have 4 or 5 million people watch my videos per month. And I've always been outspoken. In my videos, you might hear me say, free Palestine. And then I'll get the comments like, oh, you're working with terrorism. It's a very hurtful thing. You as a YouTuber, I'm sure you get comments now and then that hurt you. And I'm like, man, I'm for humanity. I'm for peace.
Right.
It's a very, very tough thing. But I went completely off topic, but Muslim people, whole and whole, are the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Never, ever, ever, ever had a problem at all.
Thank you.
So when the
Thank
world
that,
speaks negatively against me, I want to cry now. I get emotional about it because they don't deserve that. Off topic. Slightly off topic,
That's
but
okay.
I think it needed to be said.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, that's perfectly well said.
Yeah,
I think. I agree with you. Honestly, I find, especially with YouTube, realistically, no matter what you do or what you say, you're always going to have somebody who's going to be against you. No matter what. And some people do, like, I know a lot of creators on YouTube, like you probably do yourself. Some people let it really get to them. And for me, I kind of have like a I don't give a fuck attitude. I'm just going to say whatever I need to say and get it off my chest. Even if I'm wrong, I'm going to say it anyways, right?
When you say you're wrong, you mean when you're recording?
Not knowing that I'm wrong, right?
But once that negative comment comes, is there a rebuttal? You ignore it, you delete it, block it? What do you do?
It could be a variety of different things. It depends. If it's in a hateful or distasteful manner, the way it's written, like it's directed at a friend, and they say, like, I've had comments about friends that I've filmed with, I really don't like that person because they're annoying or they're an asshole or whatever. It's like, nah, they're my friend and I'm going to stick up for my friend. Delete.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's very spammy at that point, obviously you just put it in the what is it called, the do not show section or whatever, hidden from channel section. It all depends. Most of the time I'll just ignore it. Sometimes I'll rebuttal and just be like, what you just said literally makes no sense whatsoever, right? Or maybe they kind of said something because their perspective, they saw something different than what it was actually either said or done or shown in the video, and I'll try and correct them. And then a lot of times they actually realize that they were completely incorrect, and sometimes they even apologize, right?
Yeah.
In the follow-up
No,
comment.
I rebuttal.
Right? Yeah.
I call
Depends,
it out.
yeah. Depends
For
on
me,
what it is.
I'm like the most honest person. If I don't like your comment, you're being racist, I'll speak
Oh,
up.
yeah. If it's racist, then no, forget
Yeah.
it. Like,
well, you know what I do is
yeah.
a lot of the negativity is racial. Me going to Africa as a white man,
Yeah.
I get a lot, and it's always people in the USA. Like racism is built in the USA. I don't feel racism anywhere else in the world. But the people on the keyboard, like for me going to Africa, being in South Sudan, white man, go home. White man, go film Newfoundland.
Yeah.
No, no. You understand? Like,
Wow.
This is, and it doesn't get to me mentally. It doesn't stop me at all. I love Africa, and I would never let that 1%. If you ever log into your statistics and look at the right-hand side when you see what your like versus dislike ratio is,
Right.
and it's like my videos are like 99.2, 99.4, and how could I ever be upset?
Yeah, exactly.
I do remember those stupid comments, but I look at that and I'm like, okay, 99. I wish I had those grades in school.
Yeah.
I didn't, right? So I'm okay with it. If most people are happy with me, then I gotta stay content.
I mean, you're gonna have even people who are subscribed just for the reason of disliking your videos when they get the notification. So I have a funny story. I'm not gonna say who it was.
Yeah.
But another content creator, another fellow YouTuber, kind of in the the haunted ghost field, if you will. So they noticed that a member disliked a bunch of their videos. It was always one. There was always one dislike when they would purposely create a members only video and then post it. And you notice they'd get one dislike. And then again, the following week, it would happen again. So it's like, dude, people are literally paying to dislike content. Like, isn't that like, dude, don't you feel stupid paying $5 or $10 a month just so you can dislike a video? Like, that's just crazy to me. But
it's not like one dislike's going to change anything for that video either. It's only positive.
Yeah,
but what I've seen, I think the definition of a dislike, like if there's a story and somebody's talking about they had cancer, you might hit dislike because you dislike cancer.
Right.
Yeah. But their definition might not always.
And that's kind of why I'm saying sometimes it's based on perspective, right? What they think they heard or saw or whatever it might be, right? Oh, they didn't like you said, cancer. Or
my glasses. They hate my glasses. Today I didn't wear them. Normally I'm wearing some big flamboyant glasses. Why are you wearing pink shoes when you're in the suicide forest in Japan?
Right.
Who cares what color my shoes are? I'm walking by myself, right?
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's like my friend Jazz. He wears, what are those stupid slippers that everybody wears? Crocs?
Yeah.
We'll go to literally abandoned places. There's mold and water everywhere. And this dude is just like trekking through tunnels and whatnot with Crocs. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Right? He's like, what? They're comfortable. So, I don't know.
What made you want to start YouTube for all this?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I guess it's just about sharing what I've seen or what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And it's like a vault. You know, you lose your phone, you lose memory cards.
Right.
YouTube, you got to feel like it's going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
So it's like my trophies. Like I look at each country as a trophy. Like, hey, I did it.
Yeah.
Why not share some of that? There's people around the world that will never go, so why not share it?
That's right.
And now that's how it started, and now it's just like an obsession. It's an addiction. When I say that, I mean like my addiction is like how do I ask better questions? How do I create better content? How do I edit it better? Everything from start to finish.
Yeah.
And I feel like after 2 years now, my personality is showing more. In the beginning, I was nervous holding a camera up. Hi, my name is Chris. Now I feel like I'm a little bit more past that point. I'm not scared to be in a crowd of people holding up a camera.
Yeah.
So it's just like, even for my kids, who knows, one day they might want to walk and follow in my footsteps. This is just a documentation of the places I've been.
Yeah.
That's neat.
And it's starting to make money now.
Right.
It can cover the cost of some of my trips. So that's the reason people don't want to talk about. But it's a moneymaker, no doubt.
Yeah, of course. I mean, people don't realize, like, this shit's expensive, right? Doing hotels and cars and just spending money, it all adds up at the end of the day, right? So, I mean, YouTube's got to be good for something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, what is your most favorite food that you've tried so far in your travels?
Oh, I
like
don't know.
the number one. I know it's hard to pick, but
I like spicy. I like Indian food is very good. But to pass, like Italy, the food is good. But to pass that, like Nepal was more like a surprising. I didn't know the food was going to be so good, but it was really, really good. Man, man, I can go. I'm hungry now. I didn't eat, so I can go on forever. There's not one in particular, but Indian food overall is my favorite. Like in India, food is my favorite place to eat food.
Did you ever worry about eating in India? There's a lot of like
memes and stuff like that.
Oh, the hand.
The
guy drinking the milk or whatever.
Well, but even outside of that, like I know Indian people who've gone to India and they've got very sick. You know, I don't know. That was never a.
No, I never.
That's good.
I never got. The more I travel, the harder it is to get sick. In the beginning, I used to get sick all the time.
Got it.
I think my stomach is just getting more accustomed or stronger. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I'm just not eating from those type of places in the meme where they're mixing the soup with their feet, and I don't eat at those kind of places.
I find it's sometimes it's like a climate change type of thing too. Sometimes it's not even the food. People just get sick after like 6-7 days of being in the Dominican on a resort.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it just kind of happens. There's no real rhyme.
No, it's happened to me, no doubt.
Yeah.
Just not for a while now.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten like really, really sick?
Yeah. Well, nah. Again, at my own cause. Like I was in Haiti, in one of the slums, the worst parts during a gang war. And I think over the course of the week I was there, like 200 murders.
Oh.
Wow. So to get to the slum is called City of Soleil. And getting there is very difficult. You got to go through a gang checkpoint, which costs money. And if that gang member doesn't like you, because they approach you with big guns, if they don't like you, they're going to kill you on the spot. It happens every day. So you got to be with somebody that hopefully can get you through.
Right.
Or you don't make it. But you never know when the next checkpoint's going to come. Maybe a different checkpoint, a different gang. It's all about extortion. They want money from you. They want your suitcase. They want something. So my secret is to carry water with me. And I showed my son the other day. I normally get like 12 cases of water. So if they stop me and cause trouble, I'm like, look, I came here to give you this water.
Yeah.
And it always gets me out of trouble multiple times. Once you get past, there's a little village there, and they're stuck there because they don't have the extortion money to pay to get out. So they can't go to the grocery store. They can't get water. So what they're doing is eating cookies made from mud. Wow. So the mud is like, I have a whole video on it. The mud is like sewage water. It's not natural water because it's not salt water.
Yeah.
So rainwater mixed with motorcycle oil, everything. And they're using that water and they're mixing clay from the ground with a little butter and salt.
Damn.
And they're making mud cookies.
Oh man.
So we went through the process of how they make it. They charge like 7 cents for 10 of them, American. Why do you eat this? Well, there's nothing else to eat.
Yeah.
So they make it and they dry it in the sun, and it's a hard rock, but it's clay. So the guy I'm with is like, hey, you want to try it? And I'm like, yeah, let's try it. I ate a little piece. It tastes like mud. Within 2 hours from that, I was seeing stuff. My eyes were like, I was in another planet. I'm so lucky I was able to get to my hotel.
Yeah.
And I've done this multiple times when sick. I shut all my blinds and my drapes, and I sleep. I don't know if you know what Pedialyte is. It's like a...
It's like a drink, like
with vitamins, like
right.
an overdose of vitamins. So I'd travel with that, and I just slept for like 3-4 days. But every time I woke up, I was in another world, seeing stuff that I'm not supposed to see. Yeah.
Wow.
Where I thought like, if it would go on any longer, I would have to go to a hospital. But the last thing you want to do in another country is go to a hospital, right? So
that was one of my questions. Have you ever had to been in a situation where?
No.
That's great. That's good.
No,
thankfully. Damn. That's crazy. Mud cookies. I can't even. What did it taste like?
Yeah, as you would think.
Just like eating dirt.
Yeah, clay.
Gotcha. So you got arrested once, apparently.
Well, I've been arrested a few times.
Yeah.
Once.
I think the one we heard about was about a drone.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, in Cuba.
I think that's what Brent mentioned.
Yeah. In Cuba, I got when drones first came out, DJI One Phantom big. I got so excited, like any big adult child, and like, let me show off my drone capability.
Yeah.
So I just started bringing it to every country I was going to. And my mindset was they wouldn't know what it was. And if they did, when I get to customs, they would take it away. This is my mindset.
Yeah.
Even knowing that it's new technology.
And I think they, at one point, were taking them away. Because I remember my friend, I think they took his, I don't know if they kept it or gave it back or whatever, but I know when he went to Cuba, it was the same issue. But that was going in, so.
For me, going in, there was no problem. They looked at it. I would try to explain in my English, hey, okay, they closed up. And the funny thing, another thing I brought on the same trip was those things you stand on with the two wheels.
The scooter thing, the like hoverboard thing.
Hoverboard.
Yeah.
I brought one of those to give away.
Yeah.
But I was in Colombia. So I went from Colombia to there. And long story short, I was flying it on my second or third day in Havana by the waterfront, and a police came to me, and he was like so amazed. He's bringing out his old flip phone, taking pictures of it flying. So right then I'm like, oh, this is not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit more confident, and I went into the city to start shooting like the old architecture, and that's when I got caught. And they weren't like, hey, let me take a picture. They're like, hey, you're coming to jail for life. And it was like I thought I could talk my way out of it.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, they don't.
I couldn't talk my way out of it.
They don't really fuck around there in Cuba. You got to be very careful what you do. Most of the time, most things for tourists are usually fine as long as it's.
I've been many times.
Yeah.
I've had problems in the past there because I always give money to people. So like one village, I bought like a water filtration system. They didn't have clean water.
Yeah. And
I bought it and had it installed with experts. And the next day I was in jail there. This is before.
Are you just not allowed to give people water?
No. They don't want the government to look bad, like they're not doing their part. Why is this? Why? And there's a wording for it. It's called white savior, where a white man comes into a country and tries to change the world. Right? It's a word that people. It's a very negative word.
It's a stupid word. Yeah. It's dumb.
I don't look at it white, black.
Yeah. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
If they were white and they needed water, I would have done the same thing. Yeah. I don't necessarily go to people of color to help them. I go help people that need help.
Right.
Yeah. So on 13th day, the Canadian government was able to get me out of jail. But I thought I was going to be there a long, long time.
Damn.
A lot longer than that. And years and years.
13 days is long enough.
Well, they warned me that people that had been here with me, talking to me, had been years and years. Like, wow. If I wasn't Canadian, I'd still be there.
What is that like? So you got arrested.
Yeah.
What happens? You get a stupid question. You get a phone call. You call your wife. Like,
no, you don't get any of that in Cuba.
So they somehow contacted I arrested a Canadian. I got to tell Canada.
No, they don't do that. Like, for example, if I wasn't married or family, nobody would know I was there. Okay. My wife contacted Ottawa, and part of the Canadian government is this. I guess nobody really knows about it because you don't use it too often. But if you have a family member that's traveled and gone missing, there's like a group of people in Ottawa, and their job is to find missing Canadians.
Wow.
So either like you're in hospital, you died, you're kidnapped, or you're in jail. So that's their role. Wow. So I think it took a day or two to find out that I was in jail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But otherwise, there's no lawyers, no talking about it, no let me prove my point that I'm innocent, none of that.
Yeah.
It's the military is the judge. There's no courts. So it's not like I got out and got a chance to talk. No translators at all either. So it was the scariest thing I've ever gone through. Because like when they put me in jail and the guy across the halls from Russia and speaking English to me, I'm like, how long you been here? He's like, I've been 6 years. They've been investigating my charge. I'm like, what's your charge? Oh, my girlfriend here, we got in a fight and I broke the TV in her house. She's a Cuban girl. Yeah. I'm like, what else? They're like, that's nothing. Oh, wow. I said, you broke the TV and you've been here 6 years waiting for discovery? Like, so I'm like, I'm going to be here a long time. So they told me, prepare. And they wouldn't give me any outdoor privileges, so I was locked inside 24 hours a day for the 13 days I was there. I wanted to be out. It's easier when you can go outside. Yeah. When you're in one cage for 13.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Was it solitary?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Until the discovery is over, like normally the first 2 years, you're by yourself.
So I just have to ask, the actual cell, was it just like complete darkness?
Pretty much. There's a little bit, like during the daytime or nighttime, you have little windows with bars, like almost like you see in a cartoon. Because you can put your hand outside. There's no glass in Cuba.
Yeah.
And if there's daylight during the day, some light creeps in through the main, I don't know what you want to call it, gate. But I'm not leaving. Like I'm there all day.
Yeah. When did that happen? When was
right before Fidel Castro died. Because when Fidel Castro was not the president, but he was still alive. Because I remember they were celebrating his birthday.
Right.
I guess about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that.
Yeah. So probably, I think Raul was probably had already taken over at that point. Yes. Yeah. See, that's the thing with Cuba. I love Cuba. It's such a beautiful country. The people are amazing over there. but the government is so shit. And it's scary because you go there, like my mom's always like, oh, let's go back to Cuba. Let's go to Cuba on vacation. I'm like, nah, let's go to Dominican instead and just spend a week there. Because, I mean, you still got to worry, but less worry, right?
Yeah.
So, God forbid something like that ever would happen. Yeah, that's nuts. So you've been to a war-torn, well, in the middle of a war zone, essentially, in Ukraine. What was that like?
Yeah, I think... And we were talking to my son and I were talking about that today. I think it was probably the most dangerous place I've been. Yeah. It's the only time where I couldn't talk my way out of it. Right. Like if a rocket hits you, you're dead. Yeah. Whereas a gangster comes up and says, I'm going to rob you, take my clothes, take my stuff. Yeah. Don't kill me, take my stuff.
Yeah, here, just take it and go.
But with rockets flying, a real eye-opener right away. So what happened is when the war started, I put in my application for credentials for press. But because I don't have any like news channel to back me up, they denied me after 6 weeks. So I just looked at my wife. I said, let me just talk my way into it. Let me get in. So I took a bus into Ukraine. I'm a hustler. Like I got dog food, cat food. I filled up a stranger's car. We had bulletproof vests on. We went to the front lines and said, we want to feed the dogs where the parents either abandoned them or were killed. They said, go in, and we got past 7 checkpoints with cat and dog food. Wow. We fed the cats and dogs, but we went there with the intention to document what was happening. It was a stranger. I met him. I didn't know him. He spoke English. I paid him $500 to risk his life with me. He understood what he was doing. That was his hustle. He was a school teacher, but school's done. So he is the one guy that through an Instagram account was bringing people into the front lines, the crazy ones that wanted to go and see. Yeah, very sad. And there were a lot of people that didn't abandon their home.
They stayed behind.
Wow. And a lot of stuff I saw that I didn't include in my videos there.
I can imagine. There's just certain things sometimes that you see that happen. You just, you know what, that doesn't need to go in.
But there. I don't like, YouTube blocked my videos. Oh. Because like my smallest viewed video is probably 20,000 views. Okay. My Ukraine series, 3,000 or 4,000 views each. So something happened that...
So they kind of suppressed it in a way where they didn't want people to see it. Yeah. Makes sense. Maybe they think it's like political or something like that, which is kind of weird that they do stuff like that. I really don't understand it, because you're like really the one person who can ideally show what's really happening on the ground, right? It's kind of like with the whole Palestine thing right now, trying to find actual footage of what's really going on there is very, very difficult. Right? You're basically relying only on what legacy media is showing you, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous. I want to actually see who's actually there, who's telling the real truth, who's telling the real sides of both sides of the story, because there's obviously both sides, right?
Well, I'll tell you my prediction, because we spoke about Auschwitz earlier, and we've both been there. 50, 60 years from now, that will be known as one of the darkest events. What's happening right now will be known as one of the darkest events in human history. And there will be people visiting monuments. Unfortunately, it might be 100 years before history really... when Hitler was killing innocent people, he was a very popular person. If you look at him, there's pictures of him at the Olympics front row. Yep. He was loved. Right? Like now we look back, like, how could you love a human like this? How did we not stop it? But we're going through the same thing again. So history repeats itself. Yeah. And I find now it's almost like you're cool. It's a weird world. I see LeBron James post up a flag of Israel being like, man, you could love Israel. Some of my best friends are from Israel. Nothing against Israel. I have something against murder of innocent people. How could you post It's no different than me posting up a Nazi flag during the Nazi times. If it doesn't make sense, but it's like a cool thing. Like I want to side with the company that has the most money. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. It's people following like certain trends without actually breaking down what's really happening, right? And there's always mud on both sides being thrown, and it's very unfortunate because people get stuck in the middle, right? And that's what people don't really understand. And I get the whole sentiment of why people don't want to see, you know, innocent people being blown up indiscriminately. And I totally get it. Like I understand that. And like you said, you can love both sides.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And there's also the idea of not wanting war because war is fucked up.
Well, what I like right now is there's a good percentage of Israelis are standing up saying what's happening is wrong.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. What's happened for the last 100 years has been wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So change has to happen. Hopefully it happens sooner than later. People are dying every day.
Yeah. Yep. Same thing with the with all the other wars going on as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, when you brought up the Auschwitz thing, for some reason my mind automatically also even went to China with the Uyghur Muslims, right?
Yeah.
That they're being forced into concentration camps, and no one's talking about them anymore because the news changes so fast every 5 minutes.
Look, I just came back from Africa,
right?
Sudan.
Yeah.
Huge problem. Congo, millions of people dying.
Yeah.
It's the truth is the Western world, you know, what we're fed is the white problems. Ukraine, Russia are white problems. So that's always going to be at the forefront. Israel, I think some people would consider Israelis as white. Palestinians look almost white. They look very similar, both of them. But now when we talk about Africa, even like Rwanda, what happened not too long ago, that never makes the media. People don't care enough.
Yeah.
And even now,
the genocide.
The
of
genocide,
90s?
yeah. And they've really changed. Well, I've been in Rwanda recently, and
it's changed
not what you would have imagined as Rwanda. The cleanest place I've ever been, period. Very safe and very everything perfect. So they really cleaned up their act, but millions of people died with no help.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just talk about death or anything like that. But man, I'm a human being. I don't like to see people hurt, and I don't like to see innocent people hurt.
Yeah, of course.
As simple as that.
Yeah. And if you want to know what happened in Rwanda, watch Hotel Rwanda to start with, and then start doing your research.
I stayed at Hotel Rwanda.
Did you?
I had a few drinks of alcohol that night. My first night in Hotel Rwanda, I had a little whiskey. I'm like, I'm going to be a ghost hunter. Right? And I walked through the hallways of the whole building with my iPhone out with the flash on.
Right.
Just a videotape, and I uploaded on Instagram. This is be like, this is before YouTube. So this is like 4 or 5 years ago. So I had so many people comment like, oh, I saw the orbs coming through the sky and this and this. I was hoping to find something, but then I found out they were probably just dust particles flying through the sky.
Yeah.
But that was the first time that I actually went. I had my whiskey in me, and I thought I was going to catch something on camera.
I can tell you, whiskey or bourbon definitely gives you some big balls when you're going ghost hunting.
Oh, it gives me ideas. I don't need the big balls. I have big balls already. But it gives me ideas of like, let me get creative here.
Yeah, for sure. That's so funny. Oh my God. So what was like one of the weirdest rules that you've experienced in a foreign country? I know recently you had the whole no camera thing in South Sudan. Is there any other ones?
Well, Afghanistan's got it. Like no dancing.
I guess, no dancing?
Yeah, no dancing, no singing. No signs of celebration. Like you only celebrate the religion. Right. Nothing else is, no weddings, nothing like that.
Is that the reason why? It's just everything's just religion based?
Yeah. The only reason you would celebrate is religion. But I mean, there's so many... there's Muslim countries that they'll sing and dance. So it's like everybody has a different interpretation, and the Taliban's now in charge. So you go by their interpretation. But in reality, when you're at a checkpoint with Taliban's listening to music. Some of it is religious music. Some of it is just music.
Yeah. Right.
So the rules, even the Taliban I met, man, it's hard to say this, right? But they're very nice people to me. I don't know what their history was, but I mean, to me, they're very nice. Yeah. People, when I post a picture smiling with the Taliban, they're like, it's no different than me taking a picture with a serial killer. Right. And, if you watch these serial killer documentaries, the interviewer will always say like, hey, if this guy wasn't a serial killer, I liked him. Like he was a likable person that allowed him to do the crimes he did. Right. The Taliban that I met were always very polite. And I met a lot of them. I have their phone number. The thing there is like, hey, I want to come to Canada. Give me your phone number. And I'm like, well, I'm traveling through Afghanistan. I want to have as many phone numbers as Taliban. So if I get in trouble, I can like pick up the phone and call somebody else, right? So right. This is it. So Taliban was, when I went was just when the Taliban took control. So they're still starting to enforce all of these new Taliban type rules.
So what's your preparations like before you leave to go to a place like that? Like, what do you? So I know normally you said that you like to go there with no plans, no
plans.
ideas, but in a place like Afghanistan, you got to have some sort of plan.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. You just show up and just go with the flow.
My only plan was I knew I needed to get a visa, and I knew there was like only 2 or 3 places to get it.
Right.
And I found out in Pakistan, Peshawar, you can slip a guy $50 and get it in like 5 minutes. So I went to Peshawar in order to get the visa.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody in Afghanistan. I didn't know what hotel I was going to stay in, because you can't go on hotels.com and book in Afghanistan.
No kidding.
You got to sort of get there. But I learned on the way. You know, I met a few tourists in there that were like knowledgeable, and I get to get ideas from them. Afghanistan's an incredible place. I'm on this mission to see every country in the world, but one side of me says like, go back to Afghanistan immediately, because when I was there 10 days, I got to see very little. I keep looking at this picture in the background that you have. Like, that looks like it could be Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Like, Afghanistan is so vast, and it's not what we think of.
Well, that's actually
just
Moraine Lake. That's Banff.
Yeah, I've been there. We've been there.
Yeah, I haven't done Moraine Lake. Yeah, I've done Lake Louise a bunch of times.
Yeah,
just as beautiful. But,
yes, but now you have like 1,000 tourists standing in front.
Yeah, that, honestly, to be honest with you, that's the annoying part. I did once fly my drone right across from one point of Lake Louise all the way to the other, hoping that the drone would not fall out of the sky into the lake. But what footage, man! So beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But I totally catch your drift. Sometimes you go to these like mysterious, random places that most people never go to. Right?
Syria. Iraq, Afghanistan, 3 places that you all associate with like death, murder, war.
Right.
3 of the most incredible places.
Yeah.
And even the people there. You know, I was in a place called Mosul, which is known as like the most destroyed city in the world from war. ISIS, the U.S., and their own government destroyed this place. And it's just destroyed. I don't know if you know what Mosul looks like. It's like a movie.
Shells. Just basically empty shells of buildings.
I met the most incredible people. You know, where you might think that they would come out angry at me.
Yeah.
Some people think I'm military because I have tattoos. But I mean, these people of Iraq, they're like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Canada. They're like, come inside, let's talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't hate me?
Yeah.
You know, like, they're just incredible people. Incredible people. So those are 3 countries. See, Syria, there's rules to Syria, which I don't like. Very similar to Somalia. So Somalia, very quickly. Yeah. Somalia, there's Somalia, and then like Mogadishu, the capital, and there's Somaliland. They're both in the same country, but they have different governments, different currency, different police system, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
To go into Somalia, Mogadishu, to get to the airport, when you show them your invitation, your online visa, everything, the next step is wait here while we go get military. Military follows you every minute of the day when you're in Mogadishu.
Your whole trip.
Your whole trip.
Okay.
They'll sit outside your hotel room. They're with you every minute of the day.
1 guy, 2 guys.
2 guys, 4 guys. Depends on where you are. Like if you know you're going to go to a highly populated places, 4 guys with guns.
Wow.
So I'm getting comments on my video like, oh, of course, rich white man hires military. No, I didn't hire military.
No.
I don't want to be with military. They're around me.
Are they just like watching what you're doing? Are they making sure you're safe?
Yeah, because if a tourist died there, it's not the publicity they want.
Right.
But it's the most racist, anti-white place in the world.
Okay.
They hate white people.
Okay.
So they'll throw stuff at me, and when the military is there, it will help slow things down.
Yeah.
But Syria is very similar. You need to go with a guide that's a government guide. So that government guide says, you feel like you're sort of on vacation, you can go where you want, but no. Hey, I want to go over there. Oh no, I know a better place over here. But I'm just not going to get him in trouble now. The guy I met, we became good friends. We were there during an earthquake 6 months ago. Big earthquake that happened in Syria. I was there when it happened. What's the chance of that? Yeah. And there were certain nights where I'm like, hey man, I just want to go out and drink. I'm like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. So I'll just go to clubs and stuff. And then I'm there and I'm like, this is a normal place.
Yeah.
But their president won't allow people like me to go out there and show what happened, because the reality is the war is they're responsible for killing a lot of their own people, even till today. So, but if you said that, your government official would be bringing you to jail. So people would comment like, why don't you speak about the death of the government? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, you idiot, I'm in the country.
Yeah,
that's like me going to North Korea and talking negatively about it. You can't.
Yeah.
And if I spoke negatively now, it means I would never be welcome back. So it's a fine line of like, do I really want to return? I do want to return. So I got to watch what I say.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always thought about that too. I'm like, oh, probably shouldn't talk so bad about China. Their government, at least. China as a country is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, my stepmom's Chinese, so beautiful people.
That's why you were eating the chicken feet. Is that why?
No.
My wife's Asian, so that's why we eat chicken feet.
That was my Italian grandmother.
Okay,
so she said they do the same thing. My Italian grandmother eats all sorts of weird stuff, like literally a bowl of pig fat, and they'll just sit there and eat chunks of it, and I'm like, that's so weird, right? Like it just looks revolting. I'm like, no, thank you. It just doesn't. There's no appeal to it. But I mean, you got to try it. It might actually be like the most delicious thing you've ever eaten, right? I'm sure that's happened tons of times for you. You're like, this looks really weird, but let's give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any fears being the only tourist sometimes in certain locations?
No, I love it.
No,
I love it. That's my question all the time. Like, am I the first one here? Yes, you are. Oh, perfect. I'm in the right place. No, this is what I shoot for.
Yeah. Has there ever been any like instances where you've been like really threatened? Like you actually literally feared for your life?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Good.
A few arguments and stuff like that. One guy pulled out a knife at me, but no, it might sound crazy. I like this. I like it if it happens, let it happen to me. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I got to go looking for trouble, but when it happens, I like it. It's just in me. Like, I'm the kind of guy that during a protest, and when it goes wrong, I want to be there.
Right.
Like, not to be in trouble, not to be in a fight, but to document it. Like, I'm the kind of guy with the camera that wants to be there.
Right. You're the first guy putting the gas mask on, right?
Yeah.
Getting ready for the tear gas.
Yeah, or in Palestine, the non-gas mask. I bought a gas mask for Palestine during the protest. The first little child I saw that was choking, my gas mask went to him, and I went without for the next week.
Yeah.
We watched that video last night, and you got gassed like 3 times just making that one video.
Yeah, I watched that one.
That was my first time getting gassed.
Yeah. And you weren't even really doing YouTube yet. Like you didn't purposely film that for YouTube. You just, I think you said you happened to be wearing the GoPro.
Well, I used to do it. I used to document everything, but there was no, like if I play the old video back, it's boring because it's just me with a little GoPro walking.
That specific one's not boring.
No.
But I get the sentiment from maybe some other videos. Yeah,
it's just being at the certain place at a certain time, right? Just kind of happened. Right? So, makes sense. There was one place I was going to ask you about, Tivoli Gardens. Explain the situation about that.
Yeah, Tivoli Gardens is known as the most dangerous place in Jamaica. And Jamaica is known as, unfortunately, one of the most dangerous places in this side of the world. Well, Tivoli Gardens, how do I put this? You know, like Pablo Escobar, when you think Pablo Escobar, you think Colombia, drugs. Tivoli Gardens was famous because the gang leader, his name was Jim Brown. He had the status of Pablo Escobar, loved by the locals, hated by the government. Now, when he passed away, his son took lead of the gang, the most dangerous gang in Jamaica. So maybe about 10 years ago, the U.S. got tired of him with the import and export of cocaine into Miami and into the U.S. And the Jamaican government said they want no involvement because they knew it would start a little civil war. So the U.S. came in with tanks and guns and helicopters looking for him. His name Dudas. And they found him after like 20 days, but in between, like, they say 90 people were murdered, locals, residents, for putting like shields in front of him. Like locals, men, women, children, and they were just shooting, doing what they could. They caught him. He's in jail now in Miami. So it's a place that's off limits, period. When I was in Jamaica, Kingston's already a place that most people don't go. I grew up around Jamaicans. I love Jamaican people. I love Jamaican food. I like the culture. So when I go there, I'm like walking through Kingston, asking people on camera, like, what's the most dangerous place here? They're like, don't go to Tivoli. Don't go to Tivoli. And I heard it so often. I'm like, psh. So the next morning I woke up and I went out to a taxi driver. I'm like, he's like, where you want to go? Right? He didn't know me. I'm like, bring me to Tivoli Gardens. I'm looking to make some new friends. He's like, you crazy? And he started laughing, like laughing to a point where he's scared. He was scared. Like, oh, you're joking,
serious.
right? I'm like, no, drive me. He's like,
when you realize you were serious, then he's like, oh, crap.
I'm like, would you go there? He's like, no. He's like, I drive through fast. I don't stop at the sign. He's like, don't go, man. They'll kill you. I said, no, just drop me there.
How big is it? Is it just like a neighborhood?
Yeah, it's a neighborhood.
Okay.
But it's like the well-known do not go there neighborhood. And, you know, after going a few times now, I I would say it's the most organized. How would I say this without offending anybody? It's the most organized of criminals that I've seen in Jamaica.
Okay.
And Jamaica is a murderous country, but it's an organized murderous country. How do I put this? In Canada and the US, if you go into a hood, some little young wannabe gangster could rob you and kill you for no reason. That never happens in Jamaica.
Right.
You're never getting robbed and killed for no reason.
There's a reason why.
There's a reason. And that reason had to be, it's almost like mafia, where that reason had to be brought to the top, approved before something happens. So I'll use an example. You could be a stupid tourist that somehow goes to Tivoli and gets robbed. Okay? You would really have to do something wrong to be physically hurt. And if you got robbed and you spoke to the right people a week later or 2 days later and was willing to say, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have been here, there's a high likelihood you get your stuff back. It's not like it's just randomized. Anything taken goes to the leader.
Okay.
And the last thing they want is problems with tourists. So it gives me the ability, and I don't want to say this openly and then have strangers going to these neighborhoods and getting killed.
Right.
I'm just speaking on what I noticed. So the video, I finished filming this video in Tivoli, and I'm leaving with a big smile internally thinking, shit, I'm the first guy to do this. I'm walking with this old man that I met. He's like, I'll walk you out. And as we're walking out, this guy comes on a bike, a BMX. He's like, the boss wants you. And this is not somebody that you just say no or I'm busy. Like, yes, sir, I'm coming with you. So he brings us back through these buildings. All these gangsters are there. I'm trying to bring up conversation. Like, I'm from Toronto, little Jamaica. And they're like, oh, Toronto, we have family in Toronto. Somebody stops their car on the street and be like, Christmas list. I'm very famous in Jamaica, by the way. So when he saw that, already I saw him smile. He's like, oh, you're well known here. I'm like, yeah, of course. They love me here. Trying to show them that your neighborhood is not that bad. Brought me to the leader, and the leader's like, we've been watching you the whole time, right? There's no way we're letting you out with this footage. We let you film, but you now give me your camera. He didn't want the camera to take. He wanted the memory card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. My friend, tell me what you don't want me to show. And I'm not going to show it. He's like, how do I trust you? I pulled out my hotel card with my room number and my name. I said, take a picture. This is the hotel I'm staying at for the week. Tell me what not to put in, and you have my word. Tonight when I upload, I will not upload that part. He said, see these buildings we're standing at? I don't want to see that. Because all these people standing at the bottom are doing stuff for me. They cannot be on camera. I said, no problem, sir. Anything else? He said, no, that's it. Gave me his phone number. I uploaded the video. The next night he called me, and I was like nervous. Like, I didn't even leave the hotel. Like, because I already prepaid for the week. I'm like, I'm not going to go pay for another week. I stayed at the hotel, I'm in the same room. He calls me. He's like, Chris, I want to meet you. And even then I'm thinking like, I get in a taxi and I meet him the next day. He's like, I loved your video. You made the place look good. Yeah. He's like, are you going to be here around for a week? I'm like, I got to go. I'm going to a different country. He's like, next time you come to Jamaica, call me. And like the leaders of the gang want to show you around. Wow. To show you the personal side that nobody in the world will ever show you. So I went back and I took him up on it. And I got walked around Tivoli Gardens with Dudas's son. So Dudas, the guy that's like the Pablo Escobar, his son is the one that walked me around. Wow. So every Jamaican that watched that said, Chris, you don't realize. Yeah. I do realize who that is. That's amazing. I had to go through a lot to get this, but I'm respected by gangs in Jamaica because I'm not showing fear to them and I'm not selling that negative bullshit that a lot of YouTubers are. Right. Some of my videos might say most dangerous, but if you see me there, I'm smiling and laughing with people. I'm not fearing them. A lot of people are fear mongers. I'm in the most dangerous place. Could be life threatening. I'm doing this in order to show you guys the inside. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm going with a smile. I'm having fun. I'm drinking with them. Yeah. I'm eating with them, and they respect me for that. So that's Tivoli Gardens. If anybody Googles Tivoli Gardens, the history of Tivoli Gardens is in the world, it's like a lot of history, a lot of negative history.
That sounds crazy. Take me to Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah. Let's go. It's not too far away. I bet you there would definitely be some hauntings there.
Oh, probably, yeah. I've
have you been to Jamaica?
No, it's like one place I've always wanted to go, but I kind of, now that I'm like in the whole YouTube world, if I go, I want to do like unique things, right? Not just go to a resort or whatever.
No, I never go to a resort.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
before doing YouTube, it would have just been for like a vacation resort or whatever. So I just never had the opportunity to go. But yeah, I've always been told by a lot of people there's a lot of like hauntings and crazy things.
Tivoli
going on over
Gardens
there.
has this, I don't know if you could pull it up, a cemetery in Tivoli Gardens that's huge.
Oh yeah.
And, I have something with going through cemeteries and a lot of younger people because drugs and gangs. So like the dates and the cemetery stones themselves are very unique. Some of them are like BMWs and
wow.
stuff.
Let's see if I can.
Tivoli Gardens, Jamaica.
Yeah, it's probably brought up the wrong
Yeah,
one.
Oh,
probably
that's
very
Texas.
Texas. Wrong
St.
one.
Louis,
Looks nice though.
London. Oh, there's lots of these.
It's
Denmark.
in my first video. It's there as well. So this is what, look, that's me, Tivoli Gardens.
Oh, you are.
Oh yeah, through
Yeah.
that.
That's the
Let's switch the screen here for a second.
the look. Very rough place. Army.
This?
Yeah, look to the right. See the cars?
Oh
the
yeah.
balloon?
Oh,
Look at
what?
that. That's cool.
So like if they died in a car accident or a shootout in a car, they'll replicate.
Oh,
That actually makes
The
a lot
car.
of sense. Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, Tivoli Gardens. Yeah.
Savannah, Lamar, Jamaica.
so inside Tivoli Gardens, it's only the gangs that are in there.
No, regular residents.
Okay.
But the Tivoli gang, I think Miami is the second biggest population, then the third is in Toronto. So that gang is here as well.
Okay.
Mm.
So I mean, they're more organized. When I say organized, I mean it's not like local kids hustling.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a real gang, like
Yeah.
a mafia. And
Legit.
et cetera.
Right. Makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
What was one of the weirdest traditions or strangest traditions you've ever kind of witnessed? There was one, I think it was cow urine or something. Somebody
Oh, yeah,
pouring
recently.
cow. What
Yeah.
was that all about? Why did
Yeah.
they do that?
Man, for many reasons, I guess. Well, part of it is like dyeing their hair.
Mm-hmm.
So cows in South Sudan are like the most powerful thing in the world. Like,
Okay.
it's not about how much money you have because you have no money.
Yeah.
You have cows. So like, if I asked you how many cows you have, you wouldn't tell me
Okay.
because you'd be like, I'm not telling you how many. It's the same thing. Like, how much money do you have in your bank? I'm not
Okay.
going to tell you. But the bigger the cows you have, the more powerful you are.
Mm.
For men, their jobs are always to look after the cows. So one way to tell which man looks after the most cows is the color of his hair. So the urine from the cow will dye your hair over years of you putting it in your hair.
Oh,
So
wow.
I can see somebody at first glance, I'm like, oh, this guy looks after cows.
Mm.
It's a stature in the community.
Yeah.
But also they put urine on their face to keep the bugs away. And
Okay.
they say to keep it
Yeah.
soft because you're almost desert-like. There's not water that you can just walk to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use that as an excuse. It's more than that. It's something they've been doing for hundreds of years.
Right.
They could walk to a river and get a bucket and bring water, but the urine, maybe it has something to do with like being closer to the animals that you love so much. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was. I can't lie. It was very strange for me to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the kids do it, the women do it, the men do it.
Mhm.
You didn't try it?
No,
Yeah.
and I'm regretful
Yeah.
because at the time, I didn't know what I was about to see,
Mm-hmm.
and when it hit me like that, I'm like, no, I can't put my whole body underneath the cow. So what happens when the cow urinates? You run to the cow and you put your head underneath.
Oh, so they're not putting it in a bucket
No,
and
no,
storing
no.
it. Okay.
It's coming out warm,
Okay.
and you're splashing it. And you know what? That's maybe one of the mistakes I made in travel. I don't like to look at it as a mistake, but I'm like thinking back afterwards. I'm like, man, I should have just done it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I not do it?
Mm-hmm.
But it gives me a good reason to go back
Yeah.
and do it. But yeah, this is definitely something that you don't hear about every day.
Right. I mean, at least you got to see it, documented it,
Yeah.
and then kind of understand why. I mean, obviously, there's a bunch of different reasons why they do stuff like that. And to
Yes.
us here, we're just like, what the hell? What are they doing?
I know.
Right?
And I
So-
guarantee if I told them some of the stuff we do out here, they'll be like, what the hell are you
Yeah.
guys doing? Right? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like some those like old dumb laws that have been
Yeah.
like written in legislature, like in there's some towns that still have it kind of written there that you can't put a pie on a windowsill on a Sunday or
Right.
something like
Right.
that. And the reason why they used to do it back in the day was because all the animals would be attracted to it and they would come and steal your food, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays it's kind of just like the law still technically is there, but it's just, to us, it's just like, that doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody really does.
But don't get me
stuff
wrong,
like
I
that.
love, like, when I get to see that, and I never heard of that before, I'm like, wow, this is the reason why I travel.
Right.
Yeah, I
right.
loved it. I loved it.
Learning a whole bunch of different things. Like I remember one that was really weird. I don't know if you experienced this in Poland. This is one of the fondest things I always remember from Poland. So we went to a pizzeria, and it was me and my buddy. We're both like Italian descent, so we're used to eating pizza. So we go to this pizzeria, and we're sitting there eating whatever. Guy brings us the pizza, goes back to the kitchen. All of a sudden, he comes running, like full, like, just bolting back to the table. He's like out of breath, and we're like, what the hell is this guy's problem? And he's like, I forgot to ask you, do you want ketchup? I'm like, for what? He's like, for the pizza. He's like, it's customary in Poland to put ketchup on pizza. I'm like, okay, that's kind of strange. Like, we don't do that, right? And then many years later, I was dating this girl from Trinidad, which you're probably going to learn this soon. They like to put ketchup and mustard around the crust of the pizza. So
Never heard that.
That's it. That's
I actually
weird,
have
right?
something very weird that I can add to this now that you've brought back
go
this
for
memory.
it.
I was in Prague, and unfortunately, I did not get to witness this with my own eyes. The season was off, but I was sitting there eating. I don't know what it was, some kind of sausage. And the gentleman from Prague told me this story. Once a year, I guess you can Google it to see the name. Once a year, men leave their wives at home, and the doors are left to be unlocked. And other men can come and try to win them over.
Wow.
So what happens is, like, they come to the door is open. They do have to knock. Before the woman opens the door, there's some kind of singing. Like, you have to sing almost like a poem. And there's alcohol involved. So the first step is, if the woman opens the door, she offers you alcohol, a shot of something. And there's a piece of stick that you have to hit the woman with.
What?
And while he's telling me this, I'm like, what are you talking about? So somebody else from the next table overheard. He's like, yeah, this is what happens in the small villages in Czech Republic. So, that was something weird that I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of it is, but it's like,
I can't even find it for some
and I
reason.
said,
I don't know
what do the husbands do while the wives are there? And they're like, the husbands are trying to get other women as well.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, shoot.
That's really strange.
It has something to do. I don't know what you call a stick with no branches, like it's like a long stick, but they not hit, but hit like a love tap to try to win you.
Weird.
I'll find it later, and I'll send you a link.
Yeah, let's see if Mo can find it.
I'm not finding it, man.
Yeah,
I'm finding
I don't
weird
know
stuff,
what
though.
like keywords to put to find something
I'm gonna
like
find
that. That's really funny. How do you pick your local guides? Because I notice you meet up with a lot of other YouTubers there.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Now that I'm getting bigger, it allows me to meet up. Like, I have more. How do I say it?
Right. They see the following count from the person who messaged.
Because the truthful, when you have nobody watching you,
right,
nobody wants to meet up with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I try not to find local guides. I try to find residents.
Right.
This is that simple. Like, when I went to Ukraine, I found a military. He's a soldier from Ukraine that was out on leave because he broke his leg. So I'm like, this is who I want. I don't want to get a guide. I want somebody that can bring me in. So I mean, it's different all the time.
Yeah.
There's no certain website I use or anything like that. Most of the time, it's just through conversation. A lot of the time, it's alcohol. I get there the first night, I'm having a few drinks. I'm like, who's the cool guy that that knows their way around, and something like that.
Yeah, that tends to happen. I remember recently on one trip, we went to an area called Kings Park. It's in New York. It's on Long Island. And that area, there's an old psychiatric center. There's like dozens of buildings all over these properties. And then kind of smack dab in the middle, there's this old, it's like a pub. Now, it used to be part of the complex, but somebody bought it and renovated it. And as we were there having dinner, having a couple of drinks, all of a sudden this one drunk guy, just like that, started like piping up. He's like, I'm a historian, and he was totally wasted. But he's telling us all the history and all this like secret information about this location that we're at. So yeah, I totally get that.
Did you buy him another drink?
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly what I would have done as well. Yeah, keep the story going. Here, have one more drink on me.
Have one more. Tell me more, right? Because he's telling us about how all there's like secret grave sites, but there's one that's physically marked that people know about. They call them Potter's Fields. So they're just kind of like they would take the patients, bury them there, and then they would be numbered graves. Essentially, nobody would really know what their names were or their families and stuff like that. But he was actually explaining even further. He's like, yeah, the whole property is just filled with them. They're literally everywhere. Actually, in this back part of this building, there's some over here too. So it's pretty cool to like find out stuff from the random
That's the best
drunk
way.
guy,
For
right?
me, that's the best. Google doesn't have those answers, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're never going to get that from Google. But I know I asked you partially this question, but how do you prepare like mentally and physically, and what kind of stuff do you bring with you typically when you go on a trip?
Yeah, and there's no preparation.
No.
Like I just go. Like coming here today.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. I just go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the best way for me. When I start preparing for stuff, I mess things up. I get all nervous. And for traveling, literally, I have my passport in my hand and that's it. I'm actually pretty boring when I travel. I travel with like black t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because when it's hot, I get sweaty and I don't want to look sweaty on camera. Mm-hmm. And I like that's it. There's really nothing like from a equipment standpoint. I bring my Sony camera with 6 batteries, little Sony camera. I bring a GoPro battery with 4 batteries as a backup in case I lose one. I got another one. An LED light, a simple little LED light that I can fixate on my in case I'm shooting at nighttime. And a laptop, and like that's it. Like I'm very, very simple. I look at it this way: like if I lose everything, that I didn't lose anything. Yeah. Because the places I go, and my suitcase is ridiculously ugly. Like I've spray painted it with like 30 different colors sprayed, so it stands out in an audience. So if somebody's running away with my suitcase, I can see. You can see it. That's my suitcase. Yeah, but I've never been robbed, or nothing's ever happened. But I mean, I don't travel with expensive stuff. It's very basic hoodie and t-shirts type stuff. Yeah. I imagine some places like this, you probably don't really want to, because you don't really want to stand out, right? Yeah. Like I remember years ago trying to do some research because I was going to go to Brazil to go watch some of the World Cup games. This is like probably not too long 10 ago, years ago or something like that. And I remember doing some research and like, don't be an idiot. Don't wear like, your fancy jewelry and like the big expensive camera and all that kind of stuff. You got to kind of. But in Brazil, I wear pink color and I do my hair yellow and I stand out. Yeah. Because there I want to stand out. Right. I love Brazil, by the way. Incredible place. Why do you want to stand out when you go to Brazil? Because it's like not showing fear. Like to me, if I'm walking through the streets of Rio and I'm like scared, so I'm the opposite. Pink shoes, yellow hair, orange shirt. Plus, you want to engage with people. Yeah, so you want people to talk to you, right? The thought of being scared or looking scared or having fear is the reason you'll be attacked. Right. 100% of the time. Yeah. They're not going to attack somebody that's confident. Never. That's why it's never happened to me. Yeah. Ever had any interesting encounters in hoods in the USA, like dangerous hood areas, as people would call them? No, I've met many unique people, but no, I've never nothing. Let me tell you what happened. I never travel with people, but recently when I went for my last US hood tour, I brought somebody with me. Right. He wanted to start a YouTube channel. He's like, Chris, this is a good opportunity for me to see behind the scenes what you do. Normally, I don't do it that way. So what happens is we were in Memphis, and I hadn't filmed anything really good. And I knew my time was limited. I have like 6 more hours. Yeah. So I'm like, man, I just got to make something happen. He's like, what do you mean? So I went to a local outdoor eating, like a truck. What do you call it? Like a food truck. Whatever, yeah. And because it's Jamaican. So I bring up my Jamaican content. I was like, look, I'm in Tivoli Gardens. So the guy's like, Tivoli, this guy's crazy. He's crazy. I'm like, you know anybody crazy that can bring me in the hood here? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I know some people. So he jumps on the phone, and before he's even talking to anybody, this other gangster pulls up, big rims, and he's like, this guy's a gangster. He'll show you around. So I'm like, let's go. And my friends in the car are saying, no, this is happening too fast. You can't just start following a stranger. You don't have his Instagram. You don't know his phone number. You don't know. I'm like, my friend, this is what I do. Yeah. So my friend is American. He's living in Canada, but he's American. And we're in the U.S., so he's carrying a gun with him. I don't carry a gun with me. But he's like, I got my gun in case something goes wrong. Yeah. I'm like, man, I don't want a gun. Man, I really wish he didn't have a gun. Yeah. So the guy says, follow me. We had no idea where we're going to go. And in my video, I don't think I really worded it that way. But the whole time I'm following this guy, my friend is telling me, you're crazy. You're Chris. He's like, you could have us both killed. We're following this guy into the... Memphis is known the most murder rate in the USA. So we stop. And it's funny because he looks like he could be a gangster. Right. Like my friend. And that's what's in his mind. He looked like he could be a police officer or a gangster. So we pull up and like 30 people surround the car immediately, aggressively. And the windows open. They're reaching through. and nothing. We weren't planning this. So our suitcase is just sitting there. So I'm getting out the car and I'm trying to get the people away from the car. I'm like, follow me. I have a big YouTube channel. Guys, pull out your channel. Look at how big my channel is. This is a good opportunity for you. And at the time I was at about 100,000 subscribers. So they're like, okay, good opportunity. So I'm like, who has talent? Because that always gets them all riled up. Yeah, I'm a rapper. Okay, come, let's go over there. Because I'm trying to get them away. The whole time my mind is, somebody tries to rob our car. He pulls out his gun. We're dead. There's like 200 people around us with guns. Wow. He's got a gun. See, if it's just me, you rob me. And what's messed up that day, I have $1,000 Gucci hat on, $1,000 Gucci thing, $1,000 Gucci shoes. So it was one of those times where I wasn't ready to go into the hood, but it happened, so I went. So I was so scared, not for me, for what he was going to do. So we filmed the video. The video ended up getting like 600,000 or 700,000 views. I'm like, guys, I'm going to come back another time. My battery's dying. I'd lied because I just felt like I didn't want to leave him there too long. And as we're leaving, I'm like, what do you call this neighborhood? And I point up at the sign. There's a Jaguar SUV there, all with the windows shot out. Wow. Right? That there's a murder that happened. I'm like, how long has this car been there? He's laughing, like a month. No, police won't come to this side. I'm like, what do you call this? And I still remember he said, call it Murder Tate. And I can imagine why they call it Murder Tate, but I have to ask him, why do they call it Murder Tate? And he's laughing. He's like, because of the number of murders we have here. And I got in the car and my friend looked at me with anger and disgust. He's like, Chris, you put my life in danger today. And I did. And that's the reason I don't travel with people. Because in my mind, I don't go in with fear or they're going to eat that fear. Right? And I'm not going to do it just for views. When I go to Afghanistan, I don't care about views. This is me. I was going to hoods before I had a camera. Right. This is me. Right? So to go back to your original question about like, I can't do that with people. And that's why I don't bring my family. Of course. Can you imagine something happened? So this is the reason I travel alone. So nothing's ever happened to me, but that was pretty... It could have gone any way. It's like hoods, man. It's like having wild dogs around you. Yeah, exactly. You know, hood, like one negative thing, you say one thing wrong and shit could go really south very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I imagine that. It's just like me with going into like, because I do a lot of abandoned buildings, right? You don't know who's going to be in these places. A lot of squatters, right? There's been situations where we've gone to like abandoned hospitals and there's people that are on crazy amounts of drugs and they're just yelling out random obscenities, roaming the property in their underwear, basically. And it's like, you don't know what these people are going to do, but just be calm and just talk to them to like a normal human being, right? You don't have to
I'm a ninja. Different. I don't let people mess around with me. They come at me, I come at them. This is my deterrent for... is to be aggressive. Right. When somebody's aggressive with me, the guy pulled out a knife, the first thing I do is go right to his throat. Like I'm going towards him. I don't run away. Right. This is what keeps me safe because when they see I'm as crazy as them, then they stop. The people take advantage of you if you're being soft. It's like jail, man. You're soft, they're gonna take advantage of you. Same thing on the outside world. So with those loud, crazy people, my recommendation is if they get loud, you get a little louder. And it will always stop right there in their footprints.
What was the knife situation where you got a knife pulled on you?
In Spanish Town in Jamaica. The guy just saw me walking through where I shouldn't be. Like I didn't get gang permission. And he pulled out a big knife to show me. He started yelling. So I went towards him and I told him, I put my camera away. I'm like, I'm not stupid. And he's like, I told him, if you're going to use that knife, you wouldn't be yelling. So you're a pussy. Sorry for my language. You're a pussy. Because real bad man with a knife, they don't say, I have a knife. They come and stab you. He's trying to show me he has a knife. He's not going to do nothing with it. So the funny thing is, you put the knife down, I continue videoing, and I turn the camera to myself. I told him what happened. On the left right now, a guy pulled out a knife. Because you hear me say, you got a knife, and I put my camera. I don't want to put his face on camera. It was a little misunderstanding. We're okay, and I continued on. The video got, 500,000-600,000 views. Nice. What happened is, a week later, I'm still in Jamaica. They invited me back to Spanish Town. The gang leader had the guy waiting there, right? So I'm sitting there. The gang leader's there that I'm meeting for the first time with the same guy that pulled the knife.
Did you recognize him? Right
right away. And the guy's shaking, like, and they're asking me, no camera, what do you want us to do with this man? Like, no, nothing. It was just a misunderstanding, no problem. No. They made him kiss my shoes and then put on the camera so he could say he's sorry. I didn't want him to say he's sorry for pulling out a knife because I didn't want him to go to police jail or nothing. So we ended up drinking Ray and Nephew. And my wife is watching the video after and I'm explaining what happened off camera. And you could like see the guy's like nervous. Tell he's nervous. So I was in Jamaica again about 5 weeks ago. And I went there and no camera. I knew where he worked. I just pulled up there by myself. Like, what's happening? He came and gave me a big hug. He's like, everybody knows me now. He's like, I'm so stupid. I didn't know you. I'm sorry. So it turned a negative into a positive.
Yeah. Made a friend.
I don't know about a friend. I wouldn't really trust him, but I trust him more now than when he pulled out a knife at me.
Oh my God. Any other questions, Mo?
Yeah, like just when so going back to that Palestine, when I was watching you getting the gas, what was it like? What was the gas like? What was the
must have burned like a mother.
My God,
it's not something you can prepare for mentally. I didn't know that day that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Man, it was an emotional day. Emotional because I know that these people go through this every day.
Right.
And I just get to feel it once. You know, I'm tattooed all over my body, and part of getting a tattoo is the pain of getting it done. It was no different there. I was emotionally beaten because I know kids were, and like I told you, the kids were in the streets going through the same thing.
Yeah.
It was very emotional for me. From a pain level, it was painful. You can't see anything, can't breathe. It's like you're punched in the gut and your eyes are blinded. But I mean, after 10, 15 minutes, it's gone and you're ready to do it again.
Okay.
Not normal people are not ready to do it again.
Right.
When the kid told me like, hey, I got a different place to bring you, I'm like, yeah, let's go. I don't even know if that's what he said. He wasn't speaking my language, but sort of seemed like come with me, so I came with him.
Right.
Yeah, it was tough. It was the last time I've gotten that as well. Tear gas.
Yeah.
It's an experience. Like there's some experiences in life that are not drinking a margarita at a beach.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, it's like going to jail in Cuba. For me, it's like getting tear gassed in the West Bank and other crazy, getting a knife pulled on me in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I got robbed by a police officer in Kenya.
What? Yeah.
Like a month ago. Drunken police officers. Like pulled out their badge and utilized that. Like I knew it's police. So he's like, let me see your camera. So what am I going to say? No.
Yeah.
So here's my camera. So he's got the camera like this. And he runs away with the camera.
Yep.
So I'm chasing him. He's 10 times faster than me. The ground is all rocky. So we called the police. A real police officer came off duty. Like nobody is at work. I don't even know how he got there.
Yeah.
He's like, tell me what happened. I'm like, this officer drunk. We're at the same club together. He stole my camera and ran away. He's like, what does he look like? And as he's talking, the same police officer came to him like, hey. I'm like, this is the guy. If he didn't do that, I never would have found him.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
What are the odds?
And I'm like, this is the guy. He's like, I take nothing. I have nothing. He changed his clothes. So the police officer heard. He said, okay, come to the office. Walk with me. And he just told him, like walk. So the good officer is telling the drunken officer, come walk with me. And he's, don't touch me. So he's seeing the aggressive nature. So I started pushing him from behind toward, I didn't even know how far we had to walk. It's like a 3-kilometer walk to the police station. No police cars in this village. So he's getting aggressive. So I'm doing my part to push, getting my little revenge for him stealing my camera.
Yeah.
So then it comes to a certain point where we stop, and the smaller officer is the good one, looks at me and said, Chris, help me take him down and arrest this man. And I've been waiting for that the whole time. I was filming the whole thing. So I put the camera to my friend. I grab him by the neck and I put him down real nice. And I was taking all the dirt from there and I'm pushing it in his mouth. And the police officer saw that. He's like, no, Chris, no. And I was like, and even on the video, you can say, yeah, who gets the revenge now? So anyway, I put his hands back, walk him to the police station. It's different in this village in Africa. It's not like a police sergeant. It's like you're talking to a tribal leader.
Yeah.
This man was very well respected because there was no talking back to him. He wasn't in a police outfit. He was in traditional tribal clothing. And we talked for an hour. The guy said, long story short, if I want my camera back, let's drop charges. He'll go get the camera. I said, yes. The idea is like, if I want to press charges, he's not going to return the camera. The camera to me was more important than him.
Yeah.
Pressing charges. And I knew in the back of my mind, I'm going to publish this video.
Yeah.
I don't know, 70,000 people saw it. I'm sure somebody contacted the police station where I was and something happened to him.
Yeah.
But he was just arrogant. I don't know why he was mad at me. I didn't even use the camera in the bar. It was in a backpack. But in his mind, maybe he was doing something illegal and thought that something might have got caught on camera. But in reality, that camera never even came. That camera was being used during the day. So he ran away with it. So I don't know. I got my revenge. I gave him a good hip toss. It was so much fun. When he looked at me like that, if you watch the video, there was no hesitation. I said, yes, sir. It went down to the ground real quick.
That's so funny.
That's a arrest of a police officer.
Just the way you show them.
Yeah, no, that's how fast it happened.
Oh my God. Anything else to ask?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm just
lots of
looking.
questions,
So
eh?
I was going through the channel. Like your top videos are essentially like the top 4 are there are guns in the thumbnails.
Yeah.
So, and it's like anything that has something to do with danger, Haitian gangster, guns are made in Pakistan, the gun market of Afghanistan. Almost 10 million views.
Yeah.
Cashville's most dangerous hoods.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's exciting in that, but now are you chasing the danger for videos?
No. And hopefully a year from today, that's not my top 5
Yeah.
videos. It's unfortunate. That's just the way that it.
That's what's exciting to people. They'll click, right?
Yeah. So I don't mind doing it. Again, so I write down a list of things like what's going to make me different than the 1,000 other travel YouTubers. Okay, I have no fear in me. I'm comfortable anywhere amongst anybody. That's something I don't want to say exploit, but I gotta use in my advantage.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm gonna go somewhere that nobody else is gonna go. Comfortable. Not
Yeah.
for views, comfortably. But I want to diversify my portfolio. That's why I talked about haunting. I would love to be one of the biggest, if I'm going to Afghanistan, let me be the only guy that's ever looked for ghosts there.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known as the hood guy. But in reality, the hood guy videos pay the most. My CPM, my cost per mil for my Nashville video is $35.
Wow.
Where my other ones are $5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the US like to watch that. And like predominantly my audience is American.
Yeah.
So like my wife, I'm like, what should I do next? She's like, Chris, go shoot 30 videos in the hood.
Yeah.
Like, cause if this was simply business would say go shoot 30 hood videos.
Of course, yeah.
But I don't want to be known as
Yeah.
that guy that only shoots hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go once in a while.
And even
check
guns,
out
I know
different
nothing
spots.
about guns.
Yeah.
When I went to Afghanistan, I didn't know there was a gun market. Somebody told me about it. I'm like, I got to go cover it. I got to go find this.
Yeah.
I met a guy that owns a gun manufacturing plant in Pakistan. When I woke up that morning, I didn't know I was going to be there.
Right.
When he told me, he's like, I got the plan. I'm like, let's go shoot some guns. So it's weird because you never know which videos are going to do well. Like that Haiti video I did was one of my best and one of my first, going into Haiti during a gang war. Love the video, something I'm proud of, something I think deserves millions of views.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be predominantly the gun. I know nothing about guns at all. And I think guns kill each other, right? So hopefully a year from now, again, it's more diversified, my top 5, but it is gun related.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite video that you've done?
My favorite series is Haiti.
Yeah.
Because in the 7 or 8 days I was there, I saw so much. Because again, 3-4 days I was in bed. So when I woke up, I had to do like 2 videos a day afterwards. Not having it planned and seeing what I saw, voodoo, like really getting in the voodoo culture. Like people never get in that fast. And I met the right guy that introduced me to the right guy and brought me to like the sacred room of death. That might be a place you would go. That incredible.
Oh, trust me, I've thought about it.
So I think Haiti, because it was the beginning. It's my first real series I shot on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like,
cool.
I think it will always be the most memorable and probably the most dangerous. Like guns in the hoods, I never see guns shooting.
Okay.
But when I'm driving in Haiti, they're shooting at each other. Streets on fire. This guy's just died. I saw a dead body on the street.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's not for amateur travelers by any means.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kidnapping's at like the all-time high. Like there's a very good chance you get kidnapped in Haiti. Very good chance.
Okay.
Not slim. So when you go there, you got to know that you are risking your life.
How do you do this, knowing all that? How?
Yeah.
What's
I don't
it like?
It could be the midlife crisis. I've always been like this. But it's like
It's the thrill and the curiosity.
it is exactly that. And you know what? I'll be a liar if I told you that YouTube didn't play a part in it now.
Yeah.
But like when I went to the Suicide Force in Japan, I didn't have a YouTube channel. I was doing that because I wanted to do that. When I went, like you saw, when I was dodging bullets in the West Bank, I didn't have a YouTube channel. So it's not like I'm doing this just for views.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. When
You were
millions of
already
people are
doing it anyway.
watching the video, it's encouragement to continue on the path of things I would already be doing.
Yeah.
Man, I just want to live the life to the fullest. I don't, there's the meme like when you're on your deathbed and you look back, man, I want to be like, I did everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So every day to me is entertainment. Every day is Christmas. I'm like a big kid doing what I want to do. If you told me some story or I watched a documentary tonight about something that really intrigued me, there's a good chance tomorrow I'm on a plane just to see it, feel it for myself.
Amazing. That is amazing.
Yep.
What about so my family is like my parents, my dad's Guyanese, my mom is Lebanese and Palestinian. So you've covered, or you're going to at least by next week in Guyana, you're going to have covered all of my family history here. What about Lebanon? What'd you think of when you were there?
Sad.
Yeah.
Empty.
Because you went to the place where the bombs hit, or you were at least across the street or something, right?
Yeah, very empty. Not much happening at all.
That was after the explosion in
a year,
Beirut,
like
right?
almost a year to the date after. Just sad.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Like there's no value of money. So people have abandoned everything. Like to exchange money there, you get more money by just going to the corner guy.
Yeah.
And the banks are all closed and...
Well, they were already struggling even before that even happened, right?
Yeah, and even now, the bombing in yesterday or the day before, they're saying they're targeting Hamas. It's just like Lebanon gets no break.
Yeah.
There's always something happening. It's a Middle East thing, though. It's like there's always something in the Middle East. Iraq today, yesterday, Syria and Palestine, and man, they're resilient people to still come up and wake up every day with a smile on their face.
Yeah,
So,
I know. Just from my friend's perspective, I have another friend named Mo. We have Mo and then another friend named Mo from Ottawa. He actually grew up in Lebanon in the Civil War back in the 90s. And he remembers a lot of it. And he explained you become desensitized to it, right? Seeing, the dead bodies on the street and walking around and things are on fire, and you walk into your apartment building and there's no lights because the power goes out for 8 hours a day or whatever. So you're like literally going up stairwells in total darkness, right? So, but he's just like, yeah, you just become used to it. It becomes part of your life.
But
right?
I mean, like,
doesn't have to be, but it is. Right?
I didn't see all of Lebanon.
Yeah.
I drove through a bit because I made the drive from Syria, or to Syria, but the people I met were very nice.
Yeah.
Just a lot of people abandoned. And I would probably do the same thing. If you have a chance to leave and start a better life somewhere else.
Yep.
But the value of money, there's no value. So all the stores are closed. Like they have Gucci store, they got Rolex store. Everything's abandoned. There's nobody has money to spend.
Yeah.
Imagine your money that you worked your whole life for just disappears in a couple days, and the bank closes and won't even give you your money back.
Yep.
Right? So, yeah, it's very tough.
Heard a lot of those stories.
And that's a weird mix. Guyana, Palestinian, and Lebanese.
It happened in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
Wow. Forgive me. The most boring place in Canada.
Oh man, I will never move back there. That's
you
for
live there?
I was born there, and I think we came here when I was 2 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant they just met there and then you moved.
I'm going to have to correct you. The most boring place in Canada is Brampton, Ontario.
No, don't say that. Come on.
It's true.
I don't know about that. A lot happens in Brampton.
There's people in Ottawa too. It doesn't make it exciting.
We were in Ottawa a week ago.
Yeah. Food's a little better in Ottawa.
Horrible.
Though.
Wow.
Food's good.
I don't know. I guess food can be anywhere.
If you know where to look, there's certain, like I love Middle Eastern food.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Middle Eastern food is fantastic in Ottawa. Tons of different Lebanese places and all sorts of different things. There's a Afghani place that we love to go over there.
Yeah.
So they have that.
Man, you got to start going to these places.
Oh, I know for sure.
Have you been to the Middle East at all?
No, never.
Man, incredible.
I was thinking about it. My friend wanted me to go to Qatar, but then I just never ended up doing it because it's just like too expensive.
Iraq.
Whatever.
To me, Iraq would be a wonderful starting point.
Yeah.
Where there's no real danger and the people are. And the food is incredible.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
Very, very nice people. Go in the summer months. You don't want to go. It gets cold in the winter.
Yeah, true. Yeah, people don't realize that the desert does get cold.
Yeah, even Africa, even the Sahara Desert. Like you go in the wrong time and you're cold.
Yep. Any other questions, Mo?
I don't know. I got so much running through my head, man. Have you done turkey?
Yeah.
I didn't see any videos of it. Yeah, my wife was asking. She's Turkish.
I guess that's it. It's the pre-YouTube versus the during YouTube. So I've been there, but without a camera.
Yeah.
I've been there quite a few times.
I hear Turkey's interesting because it's like, what's the capital city that everybody goes
Istanbul.
to? Istanbul, yeah. So I know some people that really did not like most of Istanbul, but they went out of Istanbul and then they were like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" Like you go to like the coastline and stuff. It's a gorgeous country.
Yeah, I have to explore it properly.
Yeah,
and I'm glad I haven't done it, but I will do it with the camera.
Right.
But I believe it's the only country that goes on 2 continents in the world, because you cross the bridge and you're in Asia, you're in Europe and then in Asia,
right,
while still being in Turkey.
Yeah. Very fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's is that pretty much it, or yeah.
I guess if we're talking about, I've got so much. This is running, and I don't know. Talking about YouTube, because now you're in it. You know, it's successful. I would say it looks good. What do you have advice for someone that's starting out on YouTube?
Yeah.
What would you say? If I knew this now, I would do this when I start.
Yeah. I think YouTube is 100%. Everybody should try. Yeah. It's just like one of those things, like swimming. Like, just try it out.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to do it for a different reason. Some people are going to do it because they want to make it their career. Some people want to get ridiculously rich. Other people just want to have a way to share some of their stories.
Right.
And I think all are great. And I think in order for YouTube to continue to grow, we need all of them. We need that person that's going to upload once every 6 months.
Right.
We need that vlogger that's going to upload every day. There's enough space for everyone. So what I would say is, if you're going to get into YouTube, at first it should just be for fun. No doubt. There's no way before uploading your first video you should have the mindset of, I'm going to get rich from this. You're going to overplan it. You're going to overplot it, and stuff's not going to get done.
Right.
I'd just say just start. Because I see this all the time. People ask me, like, Chris, I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers, so my first video is going to be. I said, what do you mean 1,000 subscribers? You don't even have a video?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm working on getting my subscribers. What are we talking about? I compare it to sports. Like, if you never played basketball before, you never once before touching the ground, the court, think, what NBA team am I going to play on?
Right.
You think about, let me just shoot the ball and pass the ball and run the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what YouTube should be. Don't even think about money and all that. Know that there are enough people out there. I heard the number today. In the USA, there are over 5,500 people with 1 million plus subscribers.
5,500.
Not bad. So there are more than 5,500 people that have made over $1 million a year. You can just equate 1 million subscribers with $1 million a year.
I wouldn't, but
I know people with less than 1 million that make a lot more than 1 million.
Yeah,
so if we use it as an average, if you have 1 million subscribers and they're not shorts, you better be making $1 million a year from it. Understand that it is possible to make money, good money from it, even under 1 million subscribers.
But even if you make $500,000 a year, you're going to be laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, look, my channel right now, I'm making, when I travel, I'm averaging $1,000 a day. So my best month so far has been like $26,000, which covers my travel. But and the reason I share that is not for any reason but to motivate people that
exactly.
Because what other job could you get, hopefully doing what you love, where you're making $26,000, and I'm only 2.5 years into it. So my goal is not this. My goal is to become as big as humanly possible. And for me, like, if you watch my videos, I give away a lot of money. So I give away more money than I make. I can't, and a lot of it's off camera. I can't walk by a family that has no food and know that I have money in my pocket. I'm not going to give them $100.
Yeah, exactly.
So I give it back. So the more money I can make with my channel, the more people I can help along the way. 100%. This is my goal. I don't care. I have all the things I need in life. If I can help people, amazing. And, as my audience grows, I use GoFundMe. We had a few things. I don't do it all the time, but maybe every third trip, I'll be like, hey, I got this family that really needs help. And then we raise like $4,000 in one day. And then I can go back and help this family. It's incredible. So it's more than just views. Views equal money, which equals, if you're not selfish, you can help a lot of people as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So to answer the question, YouTube is great. Started as a for fun, a hobby. If you find that it's growing bigger than it is, make it a job.
That's great.
Yeah. And like you said, people do it for a variety of different reasons: to make money, to get famous, just to share their life, whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, you can do all of that combined, which is fantastic,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So, and it's a lot of fun to help people too, at the end of the day. I mean, there's been a lot of people that I've managed to help make YouTube essentially a full-time career themselves. And I just did it just because I wanted to help them and I wanted to see them succeed. Right?
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
like to get jealous of people. If somebody's doing a little bit better than somebody else on YouTube, you should be like really super proud of that person.
Man,
Ask them, what are they doing differently?
I love it.
Right?
I'm addicted. Yeah. What I say all the time is like, good people deserve to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know people that started their channel after me that are doubling me. I'm in the back clapping. I'm excited to see that people are able to do it. It's like me trying to figure out what can I do next, but I use that as motivation for sure.
Yep.
YouTube is the answer for anybody listening. You might not be the best looking or the best speaker, or you might not think your talent is worth sharing, but in reality, if you start filming, let the audience choose. Because if you look at, let's say if we were to take the 100 biggest YouTubers in the world and put their faces on a wall, we would say that 80+% of them don't look like they would be TV famous. They're not good enough looking to be an actor or an action hero. But in reality, they've really exploded because the everyday person can really succeed on YouTube. And I think that's why it's so much fun. You don't need to hand in a resume. You don't need approval to upload. So you can do whatever you want. It's an incredible platform.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. It's also a lot of fun learning things.
Yes.
Right. I like learning, and not even just like the going out and like the travel learning type of stuff. Like learning like what we were talking about before, but what can I do better? Yeah. Right. Learning little tricks of editing, or certain equipment, gadgets, whatever it might be, lighting. Right. Learning how to set up a scene properly to make it look a certain way with shadows, and like for us, the podcast here was a learning curve. We had no idea what the hell we were doing. Yeah. I just messaged him one day. I'm like, hey, you want to start a podcast? He's like, yeah, sure. Where are we doing it? I'm like, well, I'll rent an office. I'll spend all this money and order all this equipment. And here we are. Right. We just kind of figured out how everything works along the way. So, and that's the coolest part about YouTube is you can learn along the way. You can make mistakes. Right.
You should make mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't make mistakes, you didn't do it right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a great time.
Thank you so much.
Whenever I can talk with other people that are passionate about a topic similar to mine, I get excitement because in my regular life, really all I'm doing is working. So I'm really happy. And off camera, I still want to get some tips because 100% this year, I need to go out with you on any kind of event so I can learn more about this.
Go. Yeah, I know you want to do the learn how to do the whole ghost hunting thing, so we'll figure out a time when we can do it, whether it's here or in another country.
The scariest night ever. Sleeping in something crazy.
Done a lot of those. But yeah, man, thanks for coming out. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It was such a pleasure meeting you, and Tristan as well. I know you guys can't see him on camera, but he's there. You're welcome back anytime, and I guess that. Yeah. We'll figure something out in the future. As for those of you at home, thank you for watching this video. And of course, go and subscribe to Chris. I will leave his link down in the description below. Go and hit his subscribe button. Leave a nice comment. And yeah. And if you're new here, of course, subscribe. Turn those notifications on. And we'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.